feel kind of surreal. It's like I've built up to this moment for quite a while. You know, preparation and everything doesn't get you right into the beginning moments, but I feel good. I feel solid, ready to roll.
So today's a 50-mile ride, almost 2,000 feet. The water stopped at mile 11.
So we're in Bethel, Maine. It's gorgeous out here, in kind of the foothills of the mountains, the Appalachian Mountains. And we're gonna ride alongside the Appalachian Trail on back roads and bike trails all the way down to Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, which is 756 miles. Sometimes it's tough, you know, you get about halfway through a day and you start feeling aches and pains and you start to struggle. I hope that my passion for riding and staying fit sets an example for people living with a bleeding disorder, but also kind of uplifts them.
Wheels for the World started in 2013 when Barry reached out to Lori Kelly with this crazy idea of being able to do this bike ride across the country. I think what he wanted was to create greater awareness about Save One Life and try to really help others.
15 years ago, my wife answered the phone at like 11:30 at night, and it was Barry Hardy. And he had found me online and basically was giving me a call to action. He lectured me, literally, for a couple hours we talked. And he was lecturing me about how can you be, you know, this older person dealing with hemophilia and have gone through all the things that you've gone through and not be out there talking to people about it. He was right, and I need to start doing something. And then from there, he mentored me and helped me get back into the hemophilia community and helped me to understand how I could inspire and help others.
I first met Barry Hardy in 2013. He had just started these crazy cross-country bike rides. The first time we got to connect and kind of talk about our adventures, it was just this really cool experience of having this, not only the connection of hemophilia, but trying to do something a little bit different than what people thought was possible with hemophilia. I think he had gotten really passionate about cycling. It was kind of his way of becoming active with some of the challenges that he had with his own body.
I just know Barry called me out of the blue. He was like, I've been talking with Lori Kelly and she wants me to do this ride. Do you think I'm crazy? Yeah, I think you're crazy. It was like that, you know, are you kidding me? Ride across America? You have hemophilia, you got bad knees, you got a bad hip.
It, you know, kind of developed into this much bigger idea of doing it as a fundraiser for Save One Life.
He started this ride because he wanted to make a difference, and he wanted to provide hope to the future generations of those with hemophilia and to those in developing countries who don't have access to the treatment that we have in this country.
Not only did it bring a lot of attention to our organization, but it also helped encourage people to give and broaden more awareness of what hemophilia looks like around the world. The best part about it was that he finished his first crazy ride across the country over 30 days. And then shortly after is I want to do it again. And I think he ended up doing it 6 times, different routes all over the country, seeing different places, but always, you know, there to support our mission and really helping support people with hemophilia that, you know, have a very different outlook on life and different challenges. So it was really special.
When it gets hard, I definitely spend time thinking about Barry, one of my best friends, and Trinity, my daughter, who passed away from fentanyl overdose. They energize me and give me what I need to get up any hill. You know what I mean? So when I get on a tough hill, I start thinking about them. Oh my gosh, this is great. This is the coolest spot yet.
Did you take a look down this little tunnel?
No. You guys ready? Well, we finished the first day and I feel good. I feel it, but you're supposed to. I feel it in the saddle. My butt hurts a little bit, but I feel solid. I think the overall picture for me was the beauty of the landscape up here in Maine. It's unbelievable. And I know that the rest of the trip is going to be similar because it follows along the Appalachians and it's all beautiful. There was a covered bridge that really sparked my fancy. I love those kinds of things. My wife loves them too, so I can't wait to show her pictures of it. Take it nice and
He's gonna go
conservative.
steady up the Kangamay. They're going up the Kangamay this way.
I'm gonna let the guys get out ahead of me and then I'm gonna reel them in and
or
fly by them.
Just stay with them and take them up gradually.
So when I was born, you know, it wasn't necessarily known if you had hemophilia or not, because I was back in 1967, and they didn't know that it was in my family. But when my umbilical cord fell off, it wouldn't stop bleeding, so they were suspicious, and then I had my adenoids removed, and that basically made it clear to them that I had a bleeding disorder. So they gave me a factor assay, and that's how we found out that I had it.
Hemophilia is a genetic disorder where your blood doesn't clot properly. You're missing a protein in your blood that helps with that process and results in longer bleeding into joint spaces and internal organs.
Basically, it just means that if you get an injury that sustains what would normally be maybe a bruise or something like that, it's much more catastrophic for somebody who doesn't have the clotting protein. Internal bleeding, especially in joints, can be unbelievably not only painful, but dangerous.
You can feel it, the blood pooling in your joint, and you can feel the pain. And if you don't treat it right away, it can cause severe pain and damage that's permanent. So it's very critical that you get medication.
I've actually had a few wrecks on the bicycle. Those wrecks have been horrible. Nowadays we have factor available to us, at least here in our nation. This is one of the things that Save One Life is trying to do, is to get that factor to other nations that don't have access to it. If somebody has a bleeding disorder and they don't have access to treatment, then they're either going to die or they're going to have severe joint damage for, you know, the rest of their lives. How do you say it? Kankamegas?
Sure.
Kankamegas, here we come. Look at this. This is something. So many things go through your mind because you have so much time. I thought about my daughter Trinity. She was 18 years old. She took a pill that she thought was Percocet, and it was laced with fentanyl, and she overdosed and passed away. A lot of the inspiration that I garner comes from back 15 years ago when Trinity was 4 and Xander was 1 year old. And I had put Trinity and Xander in this little carrier that I pull behind my mountain bike, and I decided I'm gonna do this really steep hill. I don't know what I was thinking because I had a carriage with kids in it, but I get on this hill and I'm probably halfway up the hill and I start realizing I'm not gonna make it. And I'm literally going through the thought process of what to do because I'm on this steep hill with my kids in a carriage. I've got clipped in pedals. And as I'm basically making the move to stop riding up this hill, I hear from behind me, little 4-year-old Trinity, and she says, "Come on, Daddy, you can do it." And it was unbelievable the amount of inspiration that I pulled from that moment. And it was unbelievable to me that a 4-year-old child could think of saying something so, profound. And sure enough, I put my head down and I basically just leg pressed my way up that hill with my kids because there's no way I was gonna let her down after hearing that. And each time that I got on a tough hill in New Hampshire and Vermont primarily, because that's where the big hills were, I heard her. I heard her on every hill. Anytime that it started feeling tough, I could hear her, like you and me speaking. "Come on, Daddy, you can do it." And I got up the hill. So look what I found. Trinity Farm. And behind it is the most amazing rock wall formation. Looks climbable. The things that you see while you're on these rides. Let's go. Good morning. It's day 12. Technically 13, right? Because we have a rest day, but 12 days of riding. And it's our last day.
This is a day where you really need to stay focused. You guys have ridden really well together. Probably one of the better groups I've had in a long time as far as being together, consistent, helping each other out. So I appreciate that.
I think the Save One Life mission is unbelievably important. We have it so good where I have access and can get Factor product whenever I need it. But across the globe, it's not true.
Save One Life is an international nonprofit that is focused on helping individuals with hemophilia in developing countries. Our main focus is to help at like a grassroots one-on-one level. How do we, help an individual person or a family really overcome some of the challenges that they're facing in their lives, and the bigger challenges of managing a bleeding disorder or hemophilia in those spaces.
My son is 22 years old, and I first heard about Save One Life when he was probably 1 year old. We have all the treatment, we have all the things. My son had access to all the treatment and got great care. And I can't imagine being a mom and watching your child suffer and not being able to do anything about it. So this makes such a huge difference.
What they're doing across the globe in these areas where they're affected by a bleeding disorder and yet don't have access, they're basically changing lives. And that's the whole idea, right? I think it's been said before, but the idea behind Save One Life is the fact that even if we can just save one life, think about what we're doing in the world. And these guys are doing way more than saving one life. This is probably the toughest overall thing that I've ever done in my life. So that feels like winning, to accomplish something like that. And then you could say it's almost the icing on the cake to know, not only did I get to do this really cool thing with beautiful scenery and all of that, but on top of that, I'm helping others through Save One Life. I'm inspiring others in the hemophilia community. It's surreal. The one thing that donors should understand is that when people like me do these kind of rides, one of the toughest parts is asking for donations. But it's probably the most important aspect, because that's where we're going to actually save one life. If you want to be a part of Wheels for the World, but maybe you're not able to do the ride or that's not your thing, then obviously on the donation side and through Save One Life, visiting their site and finding out, because there's also other ways for people to volunteer and to help with those things.
Save One Life is a small organization but mighty, and people can really help in so many different ways. One of the best ways I think is through sponsoring a child with hemophilia in one of the countries we serve. Those funds go directly to the families, and I've seen the tremendous impact that makes on their lives.
And you can see that impact. You can see from the time you give, you know who you're giving it to, and then we provide updates on how they're doing, and you can see the progression that they're making.
I know it sounds silly, but after finishing, I feel strong. I feel like I could keep going.
Vaughn is a force of nature. He's one of those guys, just endless energy.
I'm really proud of my dad. I don't know how he did it. It's pretty mind-blowing.
For a guy with what he has, hemophilia, be doing the stuff he does, it's freaking amazing.
Vaughn's got a very inspiring backstory, full of challenge but full of triumph. I love his spirit in that, when hard things happen, you can get bitter or you can get better, and he chooses to get better.
Again, it's just
inspirational that he can face what he's faced from a whole host of problems and be the person he is today.
There's nothing better than spending, a dozen days in the saddle, breaking yourself, riding over that distance, and then coming to closure and rolling up to see, your wife, your son, your dad, and the people that are in our group and Save One Life, the camera crew. It was just so awesome to see everybody. I think the number one reason that the world needs Wheels for the World is inspiration. It's inspiration to show others living with a bleeding disorder that not only the things that they're capable of, but to show them in real time and in real life what we actually can do.
For me, Wheels for the World means hope. I think Barry gave hope to parents of kids with hemophilia by showing them what he could do. I think he gave hope to people with hemophilia that they could strive for more. And then through all of the fundraising and donations that we've done and all the other riders that we've had ride across the country or community rides, all of that has given hope to people in developing countries with hemophilia and other bleeding disorders.
Wheels for the World means to me resilience. You can accomplish anything you want to accomplish, no matter what you have going on, if you set the goals and you stay steadfast to those goals. People like Barry Hardy, people like Chris Bombardier, people like Vaughn Ripley, who have really set the stage for the younger generation to feel like they have hope to be able to accomplish great things even with having hemophilia, and I think that's really critical and important.
The reason why I do it, and I think the reason why the majority of people do it, is inspiring the community as a whole. That's what Wheels for the World does. It gives us the opportunity to inspire.